plans to thwart my punctuality, causing me to be 15 minutes late, which in turn diverted my focus. I stuttered, shook, and tripped over answers. No wonder the interviewing doctors seemed eager to get me out of their space. Every day had its ups and downs, but this down felt deeper than it had been in weeks. My residency was up in 2 months, and not having a permanent job yet had my stress skyrocketing. My chest ached. There was no worse feeling than the anxiety that came from not acing something so important. My headache started before I reached my car, and then worsened into a stabbing pain. Crap, I muttered. I turned on my calming app to help alleviate some stress before heading to the apartment. My roommate, Rima, was due to return this weekend from her honeymoon, with a new husband attached, and 3 made for an awkward crowd. Rohan had given up his place to move in with Rima, seeing that our apartment was bigger and conveniently located for both of their jobs. That left me in search of a new place. Something I should have found by now, but as it turned out, there was such a thing as losing an apartment if you didn't sign the lease in time. By the time I parked and pried my fists off the steering wheel, they were aching from the death grip. My heart pounded, and a dizzy spell bore down on my thoughts. My head crowded with haunting missteps from interviews past and trying to figure out where to live. The hospital might not approve of me utilizing the on-call room as a permanent residence. I could move back home with my parents, since they kept offering, but the drive from their place to the hospital and clinic was too far. Rima and Rohan weren't heartless, though. They would let me stay a bit longer. Things were okay. No need to panic. Calm down. Rima was like the mom in our tight circle of friends. She kept us all in line and brought profound wisdom. And a mom wouldn't just kick a roomie out if they didn't have a place to stay. I walked up the open staircase to the 3rd floor, my backpack full of textbooks and a laptop, while responding to texts and managing to trip only twice. Rima. Hi, sorry to bother you, hun, but do you mind bringing in the delivery Rohan received, if you're going to be there? We got a notification it arrived earlier today. It's his new desk. Me. Of course. Hope you're having a fantastic time. Rima. It's perfect. We're so ready to jumpstart all of our plans when we get home. But first, honeymoon calls, winky face. They had lots of plans, all right. Rohan worked from home twice a week, and his first goal was to have an office ready to go, aka my room. I felt like a college kid who realized their parents had turned their bedroom into the hobby room they'd always wanted. There was no moving back home after that. There was no staying for me. Time to woman up and live on my own. Just until my own wedding, which seemed to be nipping at my heels. My body wanted to shut down at the thought. Marriage wasn't always about love and connection. Sometimes it was about fulfilling happiness in other ways. Duty and honor and moving forward with life. But in my case, moving forward meant having to scale a massive wall studded with the jagged edges of my emotions. A giant box at the door glared at me as if it had won a battle. It had. It was taking my room from me. After unlocking the front door and depositing my backpack on the couch, I lugged in the box. It was so wide I could barely get my scrawny arms around it. I channeled all of my effort into my legs, grunting the whole time. Ugh. I should have done more weight training and less cardio. With a final pant, I pushed the box into the center of the living room, between the back of the couch and the hallway. It wasn't the best place, but neither was my still intact bedroom. Exhausted, I showered, slipped into my favorite pair of pink sweatpants and a t-shirt, and heated up dinner.